Congressman Ron Paul, thank you so much for joining us here in the Situation Room. First of all, congratulations on your new position as the new chair of the subcommittee that oversees the Fed. As in your new position, tell me, what is the first thing that you're going to do? What are you going to do that's any different?
Well, we're going to probably have a lot more hearings. This committee's been considered a very, very minor committee. It's been totally ignored forever. And yet monetary policy to me is very important. So there's going to be a lot of hearings. We're going to be looking at monetary policy. We're going to be looking at what has happened in the bailouts, what is done in the future, talking about QE3 and QE2 and the whole works. And also this whole mandate, whether or not the Fed should be assuming responsibility for unemployment, the whole process.
Will you audit the Fed?
Of course. We will continue to do that. It goes without saying. I've introduced that bill for many, many years, and we're making great progress. We had 320 co-sponsors this last year, and we did get it into the House version. So we're going to continue with that, and we'll have stronger support now with so many new freshmen. And I think they know the American people want more transparency of the Federal Reserve.
So now your book, End the Fed, essentially you call to abolish it. Will you actually call to abolish the agency, and can you even do that?
Well, if you ask me whether we should have a Fed, no, we shouldn't have a Fed. I don't think that I'm going to accomplish that, and that won't be high on the agenda because that's not likely to happen. Matter of fact, even in my book, In the Fed, calls for a transition period that all I want to do is legalize competition. I don't want it to be the cartel of the world and the dictator of interest rates and the economic planner. But the Constitution still says that only gold and silver should be legal tender, and I think we should be allowed to use gold and silver. Today, if you use it as money, you can go to jail for this. We are forced to use depreciating currency. Matter of fact, it's the precise policy of the Federal Reserve to undervalue or destroy the value of our dollars.
Mr. Congressman, let me interrupt here, because Megan McArdle, she's a prominent libertarian blogger, economics editor of The Atlantic, and she says in Slate here, she says that Republicans stashed him, that would be you, in this job because they don't want him making any more important decisions. He cares passionately about monetary policy, which most Republicans don't care about. But when you look at his speeches, he doesn't understand anything about monetary policy. He might actually understand it less than the average member of Congress. My personal opinion is that he wastes all of his time on the House Financial Services Committee ranting crazily. Do you think Republican leadership essentially is trying to marginalize you in this role?
No, I don't think so. They wouldn't have made me chairman. And I think somebody that spouts off like that, they should look at the evidence rather than just sort of name-calling. I don't think that kind of accusation makes any sense whatsoever.
She's saying she doesn't believe you can get very much done. What do you think you can accomplish?
Well, you know, in the way of, we just talked about, am I going to accomplish of ending the Fed? No, that's not going to happen. The Fed's going to end itself. It's going to destroy our money. When the bond bubble bursts, which I think it's starting to leak already, and the dollar, crisis comes, the Fed is losing credibility by the day. Just think, in the last 2 or 3 years, how much credibility it's lost. It's going to lose a lot more. So one individual doesn't bring about these things. I contribute to the understanding of the Fed and the understanding of monetary policy, and I'll be in a better position now to get a lot of other people to further understand this. And this is what's happened the last 2 or 3 years.
So you would like to use this role in kind of an educational way to make your case about what you believe the Fed should and should not be doing?
Well, I think I understand rather well how ideas have consequences rather than saying political power. I don't work on the assumption that political power is a solution. If that would have been the case, I have a lot of seniority. If I'd have played the ball game here, played the game, I could have been a chairman of a committee and had political power. But I don't believe that's the way real change comes. Real change comes when attitudes change and understanding and education change.
And Congressman, I want to turn the corner, if I may, to WikiLeaks. You have said before, you've applauded WikiLeaks for exposing what you call the U.S.'s delusional foreign policy. Those are your words. We know that Julian Assange today, made bail. Do you think that that was a good idea? And do you realize that you're on the same page now with Michael Moore?
Well, what does that have to do with it? I mean, if I've been on the, I work with Bernie Sanders on the anti-Fed. I'm working on the issues. Yes, I think that this is a very important issue, and I think he's been treated unfairly because he's a publisher just like you are. You're on TV. You don't want prior restraint on your TV program. He's publishing things on the internet. This is a deliberate attempt, I believe, to close down the internet
What do you
because they
say?
don't.
I'm sorry, but what do you